surrender by tan and man pran. It means surrender everything to Sri Krishna. What do you surrender? Now this is a transaction we have to understand from within. The transaction of giving is Prakrita Tana Mana Prana Molade. What do we have to give? Actually speaking, we were born empty-handed, we will go empty-handed, but it's this wrong feeling of this is mine, that possessive thing, which is a binding factor in our lives. So the material body, the material mind, and obviously the lowest charity is wealth. So give everything, and in return, what will you get? You will get Amol, the priceless smile of Sri Krishna. We have another pad by Maharaji, Jadu Bhari Muskan. Just one glimpse of that smile, and that's it. You are fulfilled. You experience the highest love, the highest bliss. Just one smile. But how do you have a glimpse of that priceless, invaluable, indescribable, magical smile of Sri Krishna? By surrendering everything. Surrender is the process described in every religion. And of course, Gita begins with surrender and it ends with surrender. Now, understanding surrender, it's how we work on the mind, because we hear about it. And hearing about it and contemplating about it, the more we do, the more we move towards that complete surrender which will happen one day. It's a process. But nevertheless, we need to again and again remind the mind. And you must have heard, often I've told you the story of, which was given by Rabindranath Tagore, one of our greatest poets of India. The story he tells us about a beggar who always went around begging every day. And what beggars normally do, they fill their bowl with something at least, so that when they give to the person to beg, that person can see that people have been generous, so let me also do something. So this beggar, he put a handful of rice grains in his bowl and he set out. It was a very special festival day, Akshaya Tritiya possibly, and he was very hopeful, I'll get plenty. It was early in the morning and he stepped out of his house, and the first sight that met his eyes was the king's chariot coming towards him. The king on the streets today. He was so hopeful. I'm going to ask from him. And he was imagining all sorts of things that he would get from the king of the country. And he was thinking about it, and lo, the chariot stood right in front of him. He was completely dumbfounded. And before he could ask anything, the king stepped down from his chariot and he put his hands before his beggar and he said, "Can you please give me something?" The beggar was shocked. The king is asking me? How can he do that? Here he is all out dreaming about getting from the king, and the king is standing with hands before him, "Give me something." And the beggar just stood there. He could not think. The king said, "Please, please, give me just a few crumbs of that rice in your bowl. I don't want anything more." And the beggar, "No way. He never knew what giving was. He only knew about asking, give me, give me, give me. All the time he was begging. The king thought, he's not going to give me anything. He's not used to this. So he said, let me tell you, last night, the astrologer of our court, he told me that the kingdom is in great danger, and if you want to avoid that danger, on this day, this auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, go out and beg from the very first person you see. So ask for something. It may be very little, but you have to go out and beg. And it's my bad fortune that the first person I saw was a beggar. I know you're never used to giving, but please, please, I beg of you, this is for the sake of the kingdom, your own kingdom. Just give me a few grains. Having told the whole story to this beggar, the beggar thought, I have to give now. He put his hand into the bowl and took it out again. He was not used to giving. He did that a couple of times and he ended up with the king pleading again and again. He gave him 2 grains of rice. That was it. The king felt very happy, at least he got something. He was supposed to beg from the first person. He went back. But the beggar was miserable all day. Miserable that instead of getting something and the king right there, he had to give today. Now, because it was a special day, people gave him lots of stuff. He went home with his bag full of stuff, and the moment his wife saw, she knew, oh, he's got plenty today, and she was so happy. But he looked very sad, unhappy. What's wrong with you? Today you got 10 times more than you get every day. Why are you crying almost in tears? He said, you don't know. If you listen to my story, then you'll understand. And meanwhile, she took that bowl of rice from him and she was trying to empty the things, and he was telling his woeful story to her. And he said, I had to give to the king today. Can you imagine? I had to give. As she poured out the rice in his bowl, suddenly she noticed all the grains were white, but there were 2 grains that looked totally different. She took it up in her hands. That's gold. That's gold. She was screaming and she said, look at that. Somebody has given you 2 gold grains. You got that in charity today. Then it struck him that the 2 grains of rice he had given the king were now gold. Again, now he beat his head and he cried and cried, I wish I had given all the grain. I would have got everything in gold. This story has got a lesson for everybody. What we have, what is the standard of what we have? Did we ask to become human beings? Human beings is the highest. Even the celestial gods desire this human body. We were given a human body. Somebody gave it to us, graced us. Kabahu kakare karuna naradehi detaish bino hetu sane. So this human form we got. Human form is important. But to be proud of this body from the point of view of beauty, etc., we stand nowhere in front of the celestial gods. And not only that, we all know, what is it? Truly speaking, physical terms, it's a bag of bones and flesh. That's what it is. That is what it is in reality. Animals' bodies are better than us. Our bodies are so complicated. In spite of frequent visit to doctors and things, they are not able to identify the problem because we've got so many complicated parts in there. Wonderful body. It's amazing, amazing what the Lord has made. So we've been blessed with a human form. It was given to us. And we have no right on it. No. We cannot stop time from moving. We have to move towards old age if we are lucky to live enough. And then after that it will be taken from us. We cannot go with it. We have to leave it. All spiritual laws. So body doesn't belong to us. If we talk about wealth, we all know we were born empty-handed. Knowing is one thing, and realizing it from within, that's different. Khali aat aaye, jo muthi bandhe ayasu, हाथ पसारे जाएगा मन आएगा. We will go empty-handed. And what? We don't know. We keep hearing this, that we are not sure of the next moment, are we? I remember long ago I was in Delhi and I was chanting the prayer of Maharaji before the lecture, and suddenly there was a commotion in the temple hall. A lot of commotion. And I looked to see what it was so that everybody could concentrate, and I saw this man. He was kind of unconscious and people were desperately trying to put some medicine into his mouth, and somebody was ringing the doctor and whatever. And his daughter-in-law was sitting there, and she knew about that he was a heart patient and these things could happen. He was always carrying the medicine, that puff, in his pocket. So she quickly rushed to him, she tried, but nothing was happening. And before the ambulance and doctors could come, he was no more. Now, who would think that this is going to be the next moment with me? We can't think. We do say it. We know it theoretically. But suppose tonight, we've got so much wealth of Maharaji, we want to complete the journey. We want to. But who knows? We hear that people sleep, they don't get up. What's going to happen to everything that we have, thought about future, this, that and the other. In a second, with a snap up, didn't Nachiketa say that to Yamraj? I don't want anything from you. Because whatever you're going to give me is temporary, it's material. With a snap of the finger, you're going to snatch away everything. What am I going to ask for it then? So, in reality, even whatever we possess, we know. महाराज जी ने कितनी बार लेक्चर में कहा, सोचो, अकेले जाना होगा, अकेले. He tries to infuse that image in our mind so that we are able to surrender. अकेले जाना होगा, कोई साथ नहीं जाएगा, कुछ नहीं लेके जाओगे. So he builds up that picture, which is the reality for us, so we can think along those lines. So even that doesn't belong to us. And then the mind, I know, we get so fed up with our mind. We try as much as possible to be positive, to be spiritual, to be devotional, and it keeps pulling us back into wrong channels. So many times it's happened. And these offenses itself, they take away our spiritual earning. We don't want it, it happens. That's how naughty the mind is. We go through it. We have become more aware of the working of the mind due to Sri Maharaji's grace. Earlier we weren't. We were always finding fault with other people. Now we know how to look within ourselves more and more. So the mind is also, it's like a garbage can. It's so impure through countless lifetimes. And we are trying to purify it. That's the ultimate thing. I think recently somebody sent out around a WhatsApp message about, suppose Sri Krishna were to be living with you, what would you be doing? What about your business? What about the endless lies you say? You know he's watching. You will be very cautious. So, if he was living with you, just think, do you want to eat out of a dirty plate? People have eaten and they've thrown the plate. Pick up the plate and eat and then again. No. Do you want to wear dirty clothes? No. Do you want to sit on a chair which is really dirty? No. You'll clean it up and sit. So when we don't want to make use of dirty things, then how can we expect that God and Guru will reside in this impure? We want to purify it as quick as possible because that's their place. The temple. The heart is a temple for them to reside. So purify it. And purify it is by surrender. So that's what the mind is. Been through countless lives it's happened. Now we are on the journey to try to clean it up. We are there. But there's so much accumulated over there. It'll take time. So we have to be careful not to impurify it further at least. It'll take time to clear it because we've got all the grace, we've got all the understanding, the wonderful philosophy is there with us. But it'll take time, provided we don't bring in more to impurify it. So whatever we have, first of all, even the soul is a part of the Lord. Mamai Vancho Jiva Loke, Sri Krishna says, how lovingly he says that we belong to him. We are eternal parts of him. So what is ours? Nothing. But that wrongful possession, that attitude of mind which is there, for which Maharaji had to give 103 lectures, Main Kaun, Mera Kaun, that we have to gradually shed with proper understanding. Another example which comes to my mind is about the diamond merchant and the scrapyard. One person owned a scrapyard and one person was a diamond dealer. And they met together and they said, let's do business. Just think, scrapyard person and doing business with a diamond dealer. One diamond could buy his entire scrapyard. Even in this country, even scrapyard costs money. I mean, you can get things in the scrapyard cheap. In India, people go around collecting papers together. So many people live on that scrap. So scrap does cost. But compare it to the diamond dealer, his old shop of diamonds. And he approached him, he dared to approach him. And if the diamond dealer says, okay, give me your scrapyard, I will give you my entire shop of diamonds. What would you say to that? You won't have words to say. Even a windfall is small to say. Come. And think of it. Scrap is at least worth something. What we have is all material. God is divine, saints are divine, the wealth they have is divine, and what do we have to offer? Material. What use of it is to them? Nothing. It is of zero value to them. But they know that it's this feeling of this is mine. They want to have it released. They want us to realize and understand that we have nothing truly speaking, and this is the noose around our neck. This feeling of possession, this is our bondage of karma, and they want us to be free of it. So what we have is actually, you could say, wo phansi ki dori hoti hai na, that's what it is. But no, it seems so attractive to us, so it's difficult to surrender because of the value we have attached to it. Value is the divine things, but till the mind gets pure, we cannot understand or accept that value. So it's with purification of the mind that more and more we will understand that this is zero, this is impure, this is material. The sooner I'm able to get rid of it, would you keep holding a scorpion in a hand? No way. The moment you see it, you'll run away. It's biting you. So this is worse than that because it's taking us to the counters, the cycle of birth and death. We keep coming up again and again, and some karma or the other. And we are really depressed. Sometimes we don't want to live anymore. It's too much for us. So they say, get out. We are here to take you. He's the boatsman to take us across. So giving is about taking, literally speaking. We are not giving. And for that we have a wonderful verse in the Bhagavad Gita as well. 4th chapter, 11th verse. Ye yathamam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. To the degree of your surrender. Now we have understood. Surrender is getting rid of things that are going to bind us. They're going to make us suffer. They're going to make us go through cycle of birth and death. So the more you surrender, then the Lord serves you. Actually, the Guru is the person who has served us throughout his life, even till today. Whatever we are getting today, it's his grace. Can a newborn child serve its mother? What can the child do? It just surrenders. The mother does everything. तो हम लोग असमर्थ हैं. What powers do we have? It's only God and the saints who are sarva samarth, all powerful. So it's the all powerful that is going to serve the one who has no powers, who's under material maya. तो असली बात तो भगवान और गुरु ही हमारी सेवा करते हैं. वही कर सकते हैं, करते हैं और वही देते हैं. हम तो खाली लेते हैं. हम सोचते हैं हमने दिया, लेकिन नहीं दिया, हमने लिया. Whenever we do anything, even when we practice spiritual discipline, भगवान का नाम लेते हैं तो उधर से कृपा मिलती है, मन शुद्ध होता है. वो न करेंगे तो हमें क्या मिलेगा? अगर हम if we do any charity, then people who do charity in the world, सबसे पहले आपको पता है, they have it announced, 5 pound इसने दिए, 10 pound इसने दिए, and they collect the reward in terms of name and fame by having it announced. So their reward is gone, but some people do it like in future lives. But we have understood, because whenever we do it towards our Guru, towards service to the Lord. Then what do we get in return? Not only the future is materially rewarded, but we get the spiritual reward as well in terms of devotion. Double reward. Because we are doing it not for the sake of any future lives or any kind of name of fame. We are only doing it for the love of the Lord and the Guru, for their grace. So we get their grace, and not only the grace, but the future also is definitely rewarded. So in every way, if we deeply understand this concept of surrender and of giving and realize that we are actually taking, because if you send your garbage can to the richest man in the world, whoever it is today, I don't know. When Maharaj used to give lectures, he would talk about Bill Gates, etc. I don't know now. So whoever it is, if you say, I'm going to send you a wonderful gift on your birthday, what did you send? A garbage can full of garbage. That's what we are. That's what we can give. That we can offer. Okay, next question, what is he going to do with it? He's saying give, give, give. But I've got everything material. It's terrible. I'm fed up with it myself. You just give it. What am I going to do? I'm going to clean that mind of yours. I'm going to purify it. And then I'm going to divinize it. I'm going to give you divine wealth in return. You give it because you cannot clean it yourself. It's got countless lives of impurities in it. So you just surrender and the rest of the job is mine. If you give your clothes to the washerman and he washes them, doesn't charge you and gives it to you washed, ironed. Oh, thank you so much. Money, no, nothing free. So clothes is a small thing. We would be obliged to the washerman. Here, the mind is being purified. The mind that is the cause of bondage. So he wants it because we are his children. We have been suffering in this countless lives of birth and death. And he wants to grace us. Give that mind. That mind is your enemy. Give it to me. And I'll purify it and I'll make it divine so that you're able to experience. For us, the experience is महाराज जी ने उसमें लिखा है ना, गुरु चरण कमल बलिहार, गुरु पर तन मन धनवार. जाऊं गुरु चरण कमल बलिहार, Pavat Yugala Vihar. Only when the mind is purified, we can see, we can be a part of those intimate pastimes in that highest abode, the divine abode of Vrindavan, those eternal pastimes. That's where he wants to take us. So it's about giving, and that's what's been expressed in this padya. Now you'll say, what will happen if I just see the smile? I've seen so many smiles. Yeah, but you haven't seen the smile of Sri Krishna. Barik lakhi muskaan na rahi hai, tana mana prana na bhan. If you have even a small glimpse, once, only once, if you see that smile, you will be completely, you'll lose consciousness of your body, mind, everything. In the sense, you will go into a state of divine ecstasy. Or if you don't give, now the mind says, what about this, what about, we've got that 100 things the mind is telling us, trying to put us off from a surrender. So if you don't give, jo nahi degi daan looti hai prakrit jana jiya jaan. Anybody who doesn't give, you have to give somewhere. Then the material world is going to grab everything from you. You'll have to give to somebody. You have the choice, the divine or the material. So there are people in the world, the property will go to this one and that one, and those are the people whom we feel near and near, my own, my own. And what about him who has given us life, who has given us this body, who is ready to take us across this ocean of Maya? The feeling of mine as it grows, then surrender becomes easy. So ye material log, they will just grab it, snatch it away from you. And then after that, what will happen? Puni jag janami mari jai. Tina hina tiya patiman. You'll keep coming back. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Every time we come back, new set of relationships. And no relationship can be perfect. That is the reality of the world. We know it. We have understood it now. So, but we will have to accept. We have to accept. कोई बाप बनेगा, कोई माँ बनेगी, कोई पति बनेगा, कोई बेटा बनेगा, कोई ना कोई सब बनेंगे. So we will keep coming back into the cycle of birth and death if we refuse to surrender, if the mind keeps deluding us away from the instructions of the scriptures and the Guru. So kaha kripalu, the moment I realized it, so this blessed individual soul says, हाँ भुज उठाय सकी. I raise my hand. हम लोग जय जय श्री राधे करते हैं ना. This is symbolic. This is symbolic of surrender. So one day when we are going to do this, is going to be a feeling of complete surrender from the bottom of the heart. Kana hi pranana pran. Now I have realized that I am the one who is going to be complete loser. I've got such a terrible future if I do not surrender, coming back into this material Maya, again going through all that suffering. Some sufferings are inevitable. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhir. Janma, kaduk, birth. Then disease, old age is another problem. And then of course death. These are inevitable apart from the hundred, I would say, millions of stresses we go through day in and day out. So I have realized, I don't want that anymore. No way. I don't want to come back into that. I am accepting Sri Krishna, who is in reality the life of my life. And therefore, having accepted this, we will have a glimpse of that beautiful, indescribable smile of Sri Krishna, which will give us a state of divine ecstasy. And this is the grace of Sri Maharaji, who has explained this to us in a proper, detailed way and very logically, so that we keep thinking and move forward. Maharaji was sitting in the back room. It was Diwali or Sharad Purnima, I can't remember. And people were queuing up to do pranam. And I was further back, but a person just a little bit in front of me entered. Sri Maharaji had a very, very bewitching smile on his face. Other people saw it. But when this person who entered, he saw it, he just fell down unconscious in a state of what we are hearing here. Na rahi hai tan man pranana bhan. For several minutes, he was unconscious and then rolling on that ground just before Maharaji in a state of absolute bliss. So it's all about purity of the heart. And to even think, okay, because Maharaji was there, no. We heard from Maharaji कि चाहे गुरु हिमालय में बैठा हो, चाहे शिष्य हिमालय पे हो, लेकिन जब बर्तन तैयार उसको वहीं मिलेगा. So that's the reality even now, that the moment the heart becomes purified, of course in the spiritual path, the path of devotion, the great grace or blessing is that as we move forward, we start experiencing an inexplicable joy even in contemplation or in a meditation. We may not see that final bewitching smile that would be an attainment, but even whilst on the path. So this actually I saw. So it's the purity of the heart that's important. We have received a lot. We still receive. But it depended, the receiving of the grace all individually depends on us. The barik valuing is all about understanding the importance. So today is the day for two things. One, charity, and the other thing is the charan darshan and pujan. So before we do the abhishek of Sri Maharaji's charan, who is the Guru? Shri Krishna says, we say, Acharya Mam Bijaniyan. Shri Krishna कहते हैं, we are not same. मैं ही हूँ. I am the one in that form. It is me. So that's what he says. And not only that, there's no difference between Radha and Krishna. तो किशोरी जी की जो हमने चरणों की महिमा गाई, वही महिमा और गुरु के चरणों की तो और अधिक है, क्योंकि उनके द्वारा ही जो अब आज यहाँ बैठे हैं, जो हमने लाभ लिया है अभी तक जीवन में, ये जो हमारा बर्तन शुद्ध हुआ, जो हमारा राधे नाम से प्यार हुआ, कहाँ तक गिनाएं, अगणित हैं उनकी कृपाएं हैं. तो ये आदि जगत गुरु शंकराचार्य का बनाया हुआ संस्कृत में गुरु चरणों की महिमा है. इंग्लिश इज ऑल्सो दैट. तो पहले हम लोग वीडियो देखेंगे, उसके बाद चरण पूजन करेंगे, तथा ताकि हमारे अंदर कुछ कुछ वो भाव उत्पन्न हो सके जब हम पूजन करें. तो सब लोग